I'm on beautiful Jacksonville Beach with blackbirds. Now get this, I have lived on the beach for a few years and I've never seen blackbirds on the sand. So, some of you know that watch my YouTubes that I'm really into blackbirds. They're a sign that I'm right on track. They're like my totem symbol. I want to talk about the raw food diet and what its benefit is before I give you some amazing raw recipes and take you to the Jacksonville Raw Food Meetup. The number one cause of disease and death and cancer is being overweight. And our standard American diet has failed us. It's been packed with corn syrup, which is sugar to make it taste good, and toxins, preservatives for keeping it on the shelf, and they coagulate it in our bodies. And no matter how much we eat, we're still hungry on that diet because we're missing the nutrients. Everyone on the planet is mineral deficient. And so when you're obese, you're actually starving to death. And I heard on a TED Talk that we're separating on the globe into two groups. Obese half and starving to death half. But get this, they're the same group. So I just want to introduce the raw food diet to everybody to make sure they have the same information that Victoria Batanko, who wrote Green for Life, gave me in 2009. So join me at the Raw Food Meetup group and see what's happening and get some recipes. Woo!
So I joined the group called meetup.com, which has raw food groups all over the world. And this one is in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, and we're arriving at European Street to see what they have. They have a raw food menu there and a garden. Valerie is giving us a tour of her garden. She grows the produce for the European Street Cafe, and they bring it straight into the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, on that note, this is a worm bin we made out of an old bathtub.
Oh, cool!
And worm castings are one of the most fertile things you can give to your plants. And this has just started, so it starts off more slowly. And right now it has a lot of black soldier fly in it, which is good as well. It just means like they had a little bit, maybe too much food. But there's a lot of worms in there too. And we'll build and build and build this until it reaches the top. And then we can harvest our worms by feeding just one side of it, and they'll all come over to the food. We can harvest the worms out and then start using the castings. And we can also water it, and underneath there's this bucket, and we can get what's called worm juice, which is a really great fertilizer as well.
Really?
So it's a great cycle to take the scraps from the restaurant, bring it back to the garden, turn it back into fertility, back to the garden where it grows more food for the restaurant, back to the restaurant. Food comes back out here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were each asked to pick a collard green leaf for the rolls we're going to make inside for the demo on a raw food recipe. Here's mine.
Yeah, you want to just pinch it to right at the to the next growing spot. Okay. So some stems might be longer.
We are also pinching some basil, which is going to go in the raw pesto. And Valerie's teaching us where to pinch it at.
Shakti.
Yeah.
Shakti. I wonder what it means. I wonder if she'll tell us.
If you ask Val, she'd probably tell you.
While I was making the opening for this YouTube, I saw this young girl out in the ocean fishing for her dinner. I couldn't believe it. Talk about empowerment. And guess what? The word Shakti is an ancient Sanskrit word which means power or empowerment. Magnificent for the raw food company and for this little girl named Emily fishing for her dinner.
The buckwheat and almond flour crust with fresh pesto, marinated onions, garlic, mushrooms, fresh tomato slices, cashew feta, and a cassia salad with it.
On the pesto pizza that you're eating, has a wonderful pesto sauce, and that's what I'm going to be demonstrating. Many of you picked the basil leaves from the garden that we washed and that we're going to put into the pesto. What I get really excited about is how all of this food in the garden that we grow is medicine for us. I mean, just complete medicine. You'll find like a lot of Tulsi tea, which is what holy basil is, to help just calm your nervous system. The parsley I love especially because it helps clean out your liver of oil. Of olive oil. And then, what's next? About a cup of pumpkin seeds, which have been soaked. We do soak and germinate all our nuts and seeds in shock tea. What this does, for one, it softens them up. For the culinary experience, it's really good for making cheese. For the nutritional benefits, it's just like if you were to plant a seed in a garden. It needs water to sprout. What it is the seed kind of has this protective coating on it that protects it through the winter so it doesn't sprout and grow in areas it can't thrive. So it's almost like the spring rain. When we water our seeds, it's like the spring rain. They start to sprout, and what it does is then your body can assimilate all of the nutrients a little bit better. So we're going to put in about a cup of pumpkin seeds, which are really, really high in iron. We have reverse osmosis filter here. In our garden, we do have a deep water well, which is awesome.
Soaked overnight.
The pumpkin seeds, it's like 6 to 8 hours. Same thing with the sunflower seeds. We're going to do about a half a cup sunflower seeds. I'm going to do 3. This is chickpea miso, which is, a fermented bean. There's a lot of soy miso on the market. We try to do as little as soy as possible in our recipes because so many people are sensitive to it. So anyway, we have 3 heaping tablespoons, very heaping of the chickpea miso. And then we have fresh garlic, which is an antioxidant. And what else is garlic before? I know that even before I started eating raw, if I had a cold, I would just eat a whole garlic clove. It's good for the blood pressure. And this is just a basic food processor got here. Okay. So I'm going to pour the lemon juice in. Just a nice little touch of tang. I love mixing 2 seeds together and 2 herbs together. Just the blends. Something about them just really have you coming back for more. So now we're going to take this basil and we're going to pack it in there. It looks so much more, but there's a lot of air in here, so we're going to... And with this recipe, you might not have this much basil at home growing, so you can just cut this recipe in half and use about a half a cup all of that. It's also an alkalizing salt and enhances the flavor, what the specials are. So I'm going to put in some salt here and a little bit of pepper. I don't love a lot of pepper. Just like literally a bunch of collards. They'll last a few days. You'll have them. You just get the assembly line done and just keep them up in this. So I like to put this side down, the pretty side down.
The dark side?
The dark side down. And then we're just going to lay them all. So I tend to make like 70 at a time. I mean, there's that many, And kids will eat these. I put like sunflower or cashew cheese and apples on my daughter's. She loves them. Fold it over, get everything in there. And roll it like that. Beautiful. Honest to goodness, my 6-year-old daughter, she can do it.
Okay.
All right, that's good. This raw buckwheat pesto sauce, raw pizza with nut cheese was the greatest specialty raw dish I've ever had in my life. Every one of these desserts they make here is 100% raw. No cream, no eggs, no sugar. These are just all healthy ingredients. And tonight I'm going to try that Strawberry Fields pie. So this Strawberry Fields pie tastes like fresh strawberries, and it's very sweet and delicious. And then here's just the basic, raw food snack without any preparation. I just thought I would throw that in because these raw dishes take a lot of time and they're masterpieces. So you can just cut open a watermelon if you need to. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to end it with this amazing moment. I woke up one morning and it was the run for the American flag. And I was just overwhelmed by it. I couldn't believe it. So here it is for you to see. Amazing.
I'm making a movie of you fishing. Up, seaweed. Hey, but we eat that on the raw food diet, so that's perfect. Not that particular piece, I don't think. What is your name?
Emily.
Emily, thank you. Thank you for letting me shoot you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.